Hi, we're here with Nathan from Team Cuba Gaming, actually, one of our own, and he's gonna basically, he played Ad Nauseam today. So, Nathan, why did you pick this deck?
We went to regionals in Atlanta here a few weeks ago, and I actually did really well with it. I went 7-3 there, and I thought I sideboarded well enough to play against the aggro decks that I knew this part of Arkansas and Tennessee were known for, and it just didn't pan out. So, I played all my good matchups the last half of the day. But
figures. That sometimes happens. So, anything you want to tell us about the deck and the interactions?
Well, if you don't know how Ad Nauseam works, the sequence is hopefully you've played a Lotus Bloom early in the game in order to, on turn 4 when it comes off suspend, in order to be able to play an Angel's Grace to keep yourself from dying, because then you cast Ad Nauseam, which lets you go to negative life, which then allows you to draw your whole deck and kill with Lightning Storm. There are situations where Lab Maniac is involved, but I chose to play the Spoils version today. There are versions that play Mystical Teachings and Peer Through Depths. I feel like those are kind of slower, and they don't have the off chance that you can, like another non-interactive deck, you can just win with Lab Maniac on the draw. I did play a main deck Slaughter Pact because aggro decks kind of tend to float around here, and I thought maybe there might be Infect or Tron decks around, but that was those were my main big choices, was the Spoils and the Slaughter Pact. Those are about the only thing you can really fluctuate in there outside the lands.
Now, you said you went to regionals. Now, what was different between regionals and here?
If you really know about how to meta regionals, especially when you're going to somewhere else, you can kind of bet that there's going to be like really good decks there. Like, you're not planning to play a lot of burn. You probably shouldn't have to worry about playing just a lot of at the time Infect, because they just printed Fatal Push, they banned Gitaxian Probe, so those weren't really on the radar, I think. I did lose to a really whack Infect deck, but I kind of could play knowing that I might have to play against some number of combo decks, because the Scape Shift decks are really good. There was an Ad Nauseam deck that went into top 8 there, but for the most part it was a lot of Jund decks, Abzan, like a lot of fair decks that kind of had probably could have took over the room, because there wasn't a lot of that really fast aggro.
Were they all Fatal Push decks?
There was some Fatal Pushes in there, but I think that's the idea, that Fatal Push is kind of it gives you an edge over those fair decks, but at the same time, you can really just push through, I guess you could say.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
No, you told me that there's some things in your sideboard that you would have done differently for today.
My sideboard was a lot of aggro cards. I played the Ethereal Haze, which is the White Fog from Kamigawa. I played 2 Hercules Recall, because Affinity can kill you really fast.
Yes.
Guilty.
Exactly. I've been keeping the 4 ley lines in there. There are versions that play 4 Lingering Souls, but here I knew ley line was, you had to play ley line. With all the burn that's known for this area, like having an ability to maybe fog them for a couple turns with ley line is necessary. Typically, I would play like some Thoughtseize and a Duress in the sideboard, and maybe even a Vendilion Clique, because that helps pick apart other combo decks or other fair decks. But I didn't really think that would have to be a problem here, so I didn't bother. I kept in, like I said, the 4 Fogs or Ethereal Haze. I always put in a Pact. I kept in a Beseiju just for the off chance that you played against a control deck, which are super underrepresented right now. But you have to respect them.
Now, I know a lot of people sometimes they leave a tournament and say, you know what, I feel like I should have played this deck, or sometimes they say, I think I did play the right deck. It just variance happens. Would you have played this deck? Would you play this deck again? Like if we went back to this morning, and when you wake up, would you still play this deck?
Like I said, I had done really well with it prior, and I probably would have still played it. Like, this deck is really variance orientated. Like, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
It being, like, knowing that I was going to play against aggro, I didn't figure there would be a lot of Thoughtseize decks. And when there's no Thoughtseize decks, this deck can really shine because you're not getting your hand picked apart. Having an Angel's Grace taken out of your hand turn 1 blows. Having your Ad Nauseam Thoughtseize blows. But when you don't have to worry about that, like, whatever you keep in your opening hand can sometimes just be like, ooh, I get to win on turn 3. Like, this is awesome. So, and that's kind of why I played it, because, like I said, I didn't think I'd have to play against those kind of decks.
Now, one thing a lot of people are talking about, maybe Simeon Spirit Guides needs the Banhammer, since we have seen Gitaxian Probe get the Banhammer, and just some other cards in Standard and Modern. What do you think about that? Like,
I think Simeon Spirit Guide's a problem. He really facilitates the really fast wins with the combo decks, whether it's Goro's Vengeance, Ad Nauseam. Like, Ad Nauseam can't be a deck at all because you have to be able to cast Lightning Storm for free after you've drawn your deck. But like Goro's Vengeance, the Titan Breach decks, Skate Shift decks, whatever they play, it just adds a clock that you can't really anticipate.
So let's just say that tomorrow Wizard says, "Hey, we're gonna ban Simeon Spirit Guide." What do you think would be a replacement for this? Like, I know the deck is gonna be basically is gonna hinder the deck, but is it possible that this deck can survive?
For this deck to survive, you would need to be able to play, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there need to be more mana rocks. And if not maybe mana rocks, maybe some versions of like a fast land that maybe tap for 2, like depletion counter lands maybe. I'm not sure if there's any in Modern outside the bounce lands that tap for 2, but you would definitely have to play not only Gemstone Mine, but also you'd have to play City Brass. You'd have to be able to generate red. These can generate red, but after, like, sometimes you end up casting Angel's Grace and Ad Nauseam with your white and black lands, and then the Spirit Guides are how you cast your Lightning Storm.
Yes, obviously.
If Simeon Spirit Guides were out of the game, Labman probably wouldn't be a win anymore. Because a lot of times what happens is when you're forced to cast Labman, what you're doing is you're exiling 2 Spirit Guides to make a Pentaprism, or somehow making a Pentaprism for 2, so that you can exile the rest of them to cast Labman and then Serum Visions. And if you can't do that, like, it's really hard. Otherwise, you might be forced to play like Gluttonous Crane maybe to look for
yes,
artifacts.
That's true. That's actually true. Yeah.
I think that would maybe work because you want to be able to dig for your ramp artifacts. Those might also be good to mitigate some of the aggro matchups where you're forced to block, like Goblin Guides or Chumpa Inkmoth Nexus.
So basically, if you had the choice between Guide and Mox Opal, because a lot of people are saying those are the 2 big, mana free spells. If you had a choice, what would you pick? For the health of
the Simeon Spirit Guides let the uninteractive decks be even more uninteractive. However, like Mox Opal, that's kind of that's like Chromox got banned. That's why all of the 0-drop mana rocks are left for the really eternal formats. I can see outside of Affinity, there's not very many decks that make use of Mox Opal that make it really busted. But at the same time, I know how they feel about free things. Like, free spells are free spells.
Yes.
So,
would it be possible you want to think about maybe, like, say if it was Simeon Guide to get the Banhammer, maybe like something look towards like Everflowing Chalice, maybe?
Yeah, I could see playing an Everflowing Chalice, maybe like a couple of them, and then maybe substituting some Gluttonous Cranes so that you can look for those artifacts to play them early. Definitely, yeah. Gluttonous Cranes, maybe some Talismans, because two mana ramps is kind of the premium in modern.
So basically, I mean, Gluttonous Crane and Everflowing Chalice could be a potential, or any, you even said the talismans, maybe the signets from Ravnica block.
Without ramp, Gluttonous Cranes, or maybe not even Gluttonous Cranes, maybe even substituting some of your lands for a like the temples for green, so that you can cast Stirrings.
Ancient Stirrings.
Ancient
Stirrings would be another card, because like without fast mana, like free mana like that, you need to be able to ramp into it, and without the ramp, you can't cast your other things. I think it would put you a turn behind some of the really good decks in the format, and I wouldn't try to toy with it too much because it'd probably be dead to me. That's kind of how I felt about Infect after Gitaxian Probe got the axe. That's not saying that the deck couldn't survive.
Well, I mean, it would definitely be slowed down. Obviously, this is such a great card to make your turns a little bit faster. Get their turn earlier. And it's not just this deck; it's other decks. And the same with Affinity. Mox Opal can definitely put that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, turn one play
Pressure.
Any pressure at all. Like they just burst their hand. And you're kind of doing the same thing, but a couple of turns later.
Right.
So, I mean, that's cool.
If there was the implement of green, if it actually came down to running Stirrings, could you possibly run as a backup plan like Lotus Cobra to maybe ramp up into the Ad Nauseam?
Possibly. I don't particularly like the fetches in the format, or for this deck particularly, because what I love about this deck is it doesn't hurt you. Like, you don't hurt yourself to cast your spells. So, you're trading the fetching and shocking that typical decks have for looking for things, which to me is beautiful. Like, I love that idea. There are times when I can see you maybe wanted to fetch to go do something like that. And then Lotus Cobra would allow you to, potentially make 2 mana for 1, and that's kind of sometimes what Simian Spirit Guide does. Simian Spirit Guide, a lot of times, if you're stuck on a Pentad Prism, you can go off turn 3 because you can play one of your fast lands and then exile your Spirit Guide to finish paying for Ad Nauseam, knowing that you still have 3 left in there to cast Lightning Storm. But those are rare, and at the same time, it can be difficult to do, especially without protection, which, I mean, obviously...
It's just the main gist of trying to get to the 6 mana to cast both Angel Grace and Ad Nauseam.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And it's just a difficult thing to do, especially when you can die on turn 4 to burn, die on turn 4 to Affinity.
Turn 2 to cheer.
How often do you actually survive thanks to Phyrexian on life?
Phyrexian on life is really good against especially like burn. It gives you, and sometimes what it does is it kind of fogs for your ley lines in sideboard matches. But
I assume you just side them out against Infect straight up.
Yeah, they're not good in Infect at all.
Yeah.
I would definitely take those out and put in the hazes. Absolutely. There are games where I will run out of unlife on turn 3, so that they will try to kill it, or they'll kill it, or whether it be Abrupt Decay or Pulse or whatever they use to destroy it, and then that leaves them kind of tapped down for, on my turn, I can kill them. I've done that a lot of times, kind of making them think, oh, he needs unlife in order to, because I may do something silly with a Gemstone Mine and go down to 1 counter thinking that, I'm desperate for this unlife, this is the only way I'll win, and they kill it, and then the next turn I can
win.
Yeah.
So basically saying, hey, I'm open, but you're not. You're really not.
Right.
So you said that basically if this got banned, which is a good possibility. A lot of people are talking about it between Mox Opal and Simian Spirit Guide. I personally think the guide is going to get the axe, but you said this deck is going to be dead to you. What is a deck that you would play if that happened?
I have literally talked myself out of playing Abzan or Jund every single bigger modern tournament we went to, because I've had those decks, and that's what I play at FNMs, that's what I play for fun, but I always want to take this deck because sometimes I second guess on my ability to play. So I'm like, I'll play something uninteractive, and they can't. Maybe I'll catch them by surprise. But I'd probably go to Jund or Abzan. Like those have kind of been my wheelhouse. You know, outside of like really big tournaments, that's probably what I just turn to. I literally talk myself out of it like the week before every time.
Gotta have confidence, man.
Well, sometimes this is good to just go out there and just get free wins because people don't know how to play against this, or like Nathan has said that he may play it on live, and your opponent basically says, "Oh, he's desperate," and then you just catch him. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't think I've seen many people that have played at Nauseam done that to me, so I probably would be caught off by that, to tell you the truth. I do like the spoils version myself as well because it gives you another win con, so that's always good.
The most beautiful thing that I did today, actually, somebody tried to turn 3 through the breach me, and I had a Lotus Bloom on suspend with 1 counter left, so I packed it, and on the upkeep I stacked my triggers so that I could unsuspend a Lotus Bloom to pay for the pact so that I wouldn't die, and then I got to kill them the next turn because I had another Lotus Bloom. But yeah, it's kind of tough because Spoils is a card that I hate, but at the same time it's a card that I think is necessary. If you're playing against, say you're playing against Eldrazi, or not necessarily Jund, but maybe Abzan, the Spoils Lab Maniac combo can be something that can really catch them because you can win in your on your draw step by Angel's Gracing and spoiling after Lab Maniacs.
That Lab Maniac, yeah.
And Jund is not a deck you want to do that against because then they're like, oh, I'll bolt it, or I'll
do something.
Do something to it, exactly. But I've done it before, and it's like you can Google like ad nauseam matchups, and you'll see people do that a lot. To me, that seems like a very reckless thing to do. I probably would never do.
So would you just name a card that's not even in your deck?
I usually go for Grizzlebrand because I love him so much. But yes.
One thing that I've seen a lot of decks run Fatal Push. How does that card affect you, especially with the Maniac out there?
If you want to play Fatal Pushes, I'm all for it. If you're playing a black, that's the thing about Fatal Push right now. You're not seeing a lot of them in main decks, even though it's such a great card, especially for the way Modern looks right now. I don't know. Fatal Push seems like a card you'd want 4 of in your main deck because it's, especially if you're like a black deck, you want you want removal. I don't really understand why people aren't playing more of them. A lot of the Abzan and Jund lists that I've been playing, I play too, but I don't know. It's tough. I think it gets a lot of things, and Labman's kind of safe because it's a 3-drop, so they're forced to fetch in order to kill him. But like I said, Lab Maniac is kind of like your last ditch at second chance. He's for simply when Lightning Storm can't do anything. And there's games where I've had to desperately spoil for a card that I needed to try to go off, and I mill too many Simian Spirit Guides, or I get my Lightning Storm, and I'm just like,
it sucks.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just happens. It can happen with any deck, really.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Well, thank you, Nathan, for talking with us. Obviously, with Cuba Gaming. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. We have a Twitter and we have a YouTube channel now. Make sure you check those out. We're gonna have deck techs from Memphis Place events. So cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks.